Hey, and welcome back to our Brazil trip. These buildings here look all old and run down and look like some apocalyptic movie, so I left them in. So here we are leaving Guarujá. We had 2.5 weeks in Guarujá and we just loved it. So the way to is Guarujá is an island in Brazil. So how to get off the island is you have to take a ferry boat. So which is the quickest way to Santos. So this is the ferry boat that you hop on to cross over to the city Santos, which is another beautiful city. Look at all the motorbikes. I was just amazed at all the motorbikes that hopped onto the ferry in the morning to hop across. So here we are in Santos, driving to Sao Paulo. So we're all a bit sad to say goodbye to Guarujá because we do love Guarujá. So it's just the beach in Santos is beautiful. This is the Mata Atlantic on the drive to Sao Paulo. So looking at there's monkeys and jaguars and stuff in there, Marcella was telling me. So that's pretty cool. Lots of other animals too. So we get to Sao Paulo and this was our hotel room, which is right near the airport in Sao Paulo. So it was pretty high. So when I went to look out the window and look at the view of Sao Paulo, oh my God, look at all those buildings. Sao Paulo is just a mega city. It is huge, buildings everywhere. I think it's a city of like 25 million people. So you just look around and just buildings everywhere. It's just massive. It's just like, wow, overwhelming. So I got some footage of a plane landing right by the airport because it just looked really cool to watch that out the window. This is Gol. It's a Brazilian airline and Marcella's brother used to work for them. So yeah, oh my gosh, look at all those buildings. So huge. So just looking around, we just spent quite a bit of time looking out the window. I think we're on like the 20th floor or something, and such a good view. So spent a bit of time looking out there at all those buildings. There is so much to do in São Paulo. So if you ever come to stay here, there's no beaches or anything, but there's so much to do. Spend a few days here. And there's some great places to eat. There's some very cool streets to look at. There's a lot of cool things to do. This is just looking at the airport because it was just so busy. It's a domestic airport, but it's just non-stop, busy, busy, busy. Lots of people flying in Brazil. So just some more footage of a plane because it's just fun to watch. And my dad used to take us to watch the planes all the time when we were little. So it's fun to watch the planes. This is a monorail that's being built in Sao Paulo. So it's not ready yet, so it'll be really fun to ride in a few years when we come back. Just looking around in Sao Paulo buildings. Now, this is where we used to live. We still own it. So it's a 3-bedroom apartment in Sao Paulo in, Brooklyn, I think. The suburb's called Brooklyn. So we actually bought it off the plan when Rafi was a little baby. So we went back to visit and have a look at all the places that Rafi used to run around when he was like 1 year old. So this is the pool area because in Brazil they mainly have buildings with areas that you can hang out and play. So Joe was loving playing a bit of basketball. And then we went for a walk around the building to just have a look at if it's different because, we lived there when Rafi was a baby and he's nearly 16 now. So that's a long time ago. I think we lived there till he was about 2. So a long time ago. So this was a gym on the right. And then I spent a lot of time in this area coming up to, it was a playground, but they've changed it quite a bit. It used to be just a wooden set of swings and a seesaw when we were there. So now, there's a lot more things. It looks much better actually. So the kids like to hang out there and then come around here. They've got this little market. So if you're at home and you don't want to go out of the building, you can just come down and buy whatever you want. I think you have to have an app on your phone and you just log it and pay for it on your phone. But that would be so handy. And then this is the foyer of the building. So it's really pretty. And the front, I remember Rafi used to throw rocks in this all the time, and because it's right at the front of the building where the security is, we had to stop him all the time from throwing rocks in there, little cheeky monkey. So then we just, we really like the tropical plants and we just were having a look around and looking at all the big buildings around us. And this were on the right here is actually a party room. So you can hire it and have a party. Rafi had his 2nd and 3rd birthday there because he had his first birthday in Ibirapuera Park, which we go to in a little bit. So then this is the shopping centre that you can walk to from that apartment. So we used to walk there all the time. So it was fun to go back and have a look. I think they had an Ice Age going on that they would, what is it called, exposition or whatever they were putting together. And then you can walk from one shopping centre to another there. And they used to have this really big kids play area in the other one. So we went to have a look if that was still there. But you can see São Paulo is a busy city with lots of traffic. Don't want to get stuck in that traffic. So he was a Batman statue. And then on the 7th of September, we were, this is Brazil's Independence Day holiday. So we were walking around on Avenida Paulista, and then they're having this massive protest against the current government. So, yeah, there was lots of people around protesting about the current president and all the problems that are happening in Brazil. And, yeah, we were just looking around. It was a really hot day, though, so it's just tons of people dressed in yellow and gold, the Brazilian colours, to protest against the current government. And then later that night, we met up with some of Marcelo's family that we hadn't seen in a long time, which is his uncle and a cousin of his, second cousin or something. So we had a nice dinner, and then this really cool street with these cool lights and a gold cow and some really nice mosaic fountains. So I just thought that road was really cute. That's what's so good in Sao Paulo. You got these really cute little streets that have really nice restaurants and shops to look at and fun things to see. See, how cool is that? I'm not too sure. I have to look up the history of it, but I wasn't too sure what the name of the road or the name of the fountain was to find out what it was. So yeah, we had a really nice dinner there. And then the next day, this was the pool from where we stayed. So boys just love to hop in a pool and have a swim, especially because it's winter back home. And here's Ibirapuera Park, which is the huge park in São Paulo. So we only walked probably 10 minutes. There's probably another hour or two of walking if you keep going, and restaurants and playgrounds and skate parks and basketball. And there's Marcelo's uncle. And yeah, there's just heaps of people. We came on a Sunday, so a lot of people like to go there on a Sunday, go for a walk, do their exercise, ride bikes, go to restaurants. It's just a really nice place to get away and have a bit of a breather from city life. Raf actually had his first birthday in this park when we lived here, and yeah, he's nearly 16 now. So we had a big group of friends that all kind of English-speaking friends. So we all got together and we had a first birthday in the park, and it was really lovely. So this park always brings back good memories. And here's the statue about the diversity of all the people in Brazil. And then the next day we caught a bus to Florianopolis. So this is showing you the bus. It was a hot day. I think it was like 36 degrees that day, and all the people in the bus stop. So the bus is an overnight bus, and it was a sleeping bus, and I'd never taken one before. So there's the boys sleeping. So I didn't get much sleep. It was not that comfortable. But yeah, then we got to Florianopolis, and we're staying with friends in Florianopolis, dear friends that we adore. So we spent the first day exploring the centre of Florianopolis. It's really pretty. Been here a couple of times in the past. Been here when Raph was a baby as well, so it'd be fun to look back on that footage actually. This is a massive tree in the centre of Florianopolis, so just showing you around in this park in the middle of a city and how pretty it is, how massive it is. Look at those branches, they're just huge. And I really love the paths as well in Florianopolis and all over Brazil. The way they do their paths is quite different than anything we have back home. So this tree was just amazing. This tree is an old fig tree right in the centre of the city. So beautiful. Then here's Rafi and I and Marcel in the background walking around. And Malu, our goddaughter, came with us for the day. So we love Malu. She's such a sweet thing. Kitty, I was going to say in Portuguese. Very, very sweet girl. So then just looking around the old town, there's a church coming up. famous church. It's really pretty in that design. That's all over Brazil. I'm not sure what kind of design it is, but it's really cute. Then we're just looking around the lights, looking around the center, just to show you how the shops are, the people, the colours. It's not a really built up place, Florianopolis, like São Paulo. There's an area where there's quite a few apartment style buildings, but in this area it's not really built up. So this is the local markets where people come to buy their fruits and vegetables, and there's a lot of seafood, and there's often bands. And there's some restaurants in here too where you can eat the local seafood, and it's like a nice place to go and buy your touristy little knickknacks. And this is caldo de cana, or sugarcane juice, which we love to have. Sugarcane juice with a bit of lemon is just delicious. If you go to Brazil, definitely try it. So yeah, just showing you the markets and this area in the center of Florianopolis. There's Josie and Raf and Josh, and just having a look around. And then on the next day we decided to head to have a look at some of the beaches. Florianopolis is known for a lot of its beaches and the surf lifestyle, and it's a bit more of a laid back kind of lifestyle, a bit Byron Bay-ish, I guess you could say. And here's some cool murals as we're driving along the city. There can be quite a bit of graffiti in Brazil, so a lot of the times you'll see some really cool artwork on the side of buildings, or when you're traveling around the cities in Brazil. So this is Campeche Beach, so we went to have a look. They were fixing that bit of the beach, so when we walked back they were actually putting a whole lot of tiles on the floor, or bricks on the floor to walk on. So this is the beach. Nice little bit here though. If you want to sit on a chair and umbrella, you have to pay for it. So we actually ended up going to another beach. We didn't stay there too long. Then on the way we went to this lookout to look over Florianopolis, and we found some cute little animals to feed. So we had some bananas in the back of our car to get out for them. So just wait and you'll see what I'm talking about. And at the moment we can have a look over Florianopolis and the lakes and sand, and it's just such a pretty island. It's really good to have a look. If you go to Brazil, definitely have some time to go and have a look at Florianopolis. Oh, here we go. Cute little monkeys. There we go. Josh, having a look at the monkeys. Look how close they are. So, feeding them some bananas that we had in the back of our car. Hungry little monkeys. So yeah, we had a look around, see if we could see some other little monkeys, and we found another one there, and there was a baby one. So, look how cute they are. Not sure what type of monkey they are, but they came up to get some food. So there's Malu and Joel and Raf feeding the monkeys the bananas that we got from the back of the car. They were having a great time. Not often they get to see monkeys in the wild. Oh look, there's the other one. How cool is that? Look at them, they're so cute. But I think they're just coming up for food. So then after that, that's cool shops that we were just looking around the city. And I'm just trying to remember where we're going to on this day. I think we were headed to Barra da Lagoa. So Barra da Lagoa, or Barra da Lagoa in Portuguese, is a really cool area in Florianopolis. It's very touristy, so you can hear a lot of people speaking other languages. There's a lot of people from Argentina that travel to Florianopolis. It's a very, very popular tourist destination, so you hear a lot of Spanish, and most signs are in Spanish and Portuguese. And now I saw there was quite a lot of English there too, which they never used to have when I first started coming here. Still, yeah, a lot more people do speak English, but not that many, so it's good to have some basics of Portuguese to get around, or ask for food, ask where the bathrooms are, that kind of thing if you do come here, or just to know how to say hello, good night, good morning, good afternoon, those kind of things. So we're just having a look around here. When we stayed here 15 years ago, we stayed in this area, so had a lot of memories of mum and dad sitting on this beach with little baby Rafi years and years and years ago. because we stayed quite close. So yeah, this is the beach in Barra da Lagoa, or Barra da Lagoa as we would say it in English. So it's really quite pretty, and there's some really good seafood restaurants where you can just sit on the beach and order some seafood and watch the sun go down. So that's living the life, isn't it? So you've got to take your shoes off at the beach to go for a walk, of course. So we were just walking around, the kids went for swims, and we decided to sit down and have a drink. Here's Marcelo looking at the menu, deciding what we're going to have. So that's the best thing in Brazil. I think the beaches are so good. Look at that. You can sit down, have food, have a drink, have a swim. So much better than Australia. I wish Australia would have a bit more of this type of stuff on the beach. But the beaches in Australia are more preserved. So when you go to the beach, you have to take your towels, you have to take your food, you have to take everything. Then we got, this is a caipirinha, because in Brazil, have to have a caipirinha, which is alcohol made from sugarcane juice, limes, sugar and ice. So this salesman from Argentina, he was selling these, I can't remember what they were called, Rogers, I don't know, can't remember, but they were really yummy. He was a really good salesman, and just found out where he's from in Argentina, a bit about his life, because in Brazil it's very social, they love to talk to each other, so often you'll be chatting to someone as you go to the shops, and on the beach they just chat, like to chat and find out about each other. Then these kids on the swings and the playground near the beach. See the beach in the background, they've got soccer courts, volleyball courts, lots of stuff to do. Was hearing as well the beach tennis. Someone was saying it's getting quite popular, and there was a beach tennis tournament. And I've never actually seen beach tennis, so I have to go look that up. So it was only 23 degrees this day, so not really, really warm. So that's why there's not a lot of people around. When it's really warm, this will be packed. So you can walk over a bridge and go to the other side. There's a hostel just over the other side of this bridge where lots of backpackers hang out. So we decided to go for a little walk and just have a look. See the people down below playing games and hanging out, catching up with each other in the playground. And this is just a beautiful view, isn't it? Look at that. There's a big, what do you call it? A statue of a tortoise or a turtle just up there. So I think there's a turtle park around here. Not sure exactly where it is, but I wonder if there's turtles at this beach, because there was that turtle statue. So yeah, just looking around the boats, there was jet skis and boats and lots of people around. The kids had a lot of energy, so they were running around. There's a trail that you can walk here, go for a walk up and around, which is quite nice. And so after that, this is just driving back and just having a look at the shops and the nature here. It's just so pretty. It's just such a, I don't know, it's a bit of a hippie vibe, I think, a bit of a laid back vibe, quite different to São Paulo with all the buildings. It's really nice, good place to go to relax and have a holiday and just chill out. And then as we're driving back, there was this massive fire on the hill where my friends live around there, not close to there, but Malu said her friend lives there and was sending her pictures. So not sure what happened, but it didn't look too good at all. Look at that, massive fire up there. So not too sure what happened, but I think the next day it was all dealt with. So then this is just driving more in the centre of Florianopolis. So it is a bit built up with all the apartments, and then the beach was on the left. So you can sort of have a look and see what it's like. But we didn't really go around this area. And in Brazil, there's lots of people that when you stop at, oh, look, an Australian place. We thought that was pretty funny. Lots of people that stop and try to sell you stuff when you are at the traffic lights. So you can buy drinks, you can buy food, you can buy tea towels, clothes, quite a lot of stuff. So now we hired an Airbnb for about 4 nights in Praia de Ingleses, English Beach, it means. And this was the pool in the complex where the kids love to go and have a swim all the time. Wasn't that warm when we were there though. It was probably 20 degrees, 23 degrees. So That's pretty cold for Brazilians, and they often have their jackets on and talk about how cold it is. So for us, it's not that cold, so that was pretty funny. So this is walking around Praia dos Ingleses, the little town, which is quite cute. Malu! And this is Marcelo's sister and nephew in the background. So, hi, Josie! I guess you want to say hello. And, yeah, annoying me a little bit, but that's kids, huh? Yeah, this is a small little touristy place that we just walked around, and this is the beach. You can see how windy it is, so it was such a pity that we seemed to bring the cold wherever we went. We had probably like, so yeah, the beach, so cute birds, pigeons are everywhere. There are tons and tons of pigeons in Brazil. So you can see there's not many people on the beach because it's winter and it was very windy, which was a real pity. So, yeah, Marcelo's sister and nephew came to visit us for a couple of nights, which was so good to see them. We hadn't seen them for about 5 years, so the cousins really enjoyed hanging out, and we really loved seeing them. We missed them a lot, living so far away. That's really hard when you live in two countries, that you're always missing someone or something about the other country. And then when you're in the other country, you're missing people in the other country. So it's really good to have two countries, but it can be hard sometimes too. So these two had a little special handshake that they kept doing. A lot of energy, those two. I'd love to have some of that energy. So just having a look at the beach. Imagine how packed it would be in summer. There's beautiful white sand there too. Really soft white sand. So it's so good to take your shoes off and go for a walk in the sand. So everyone with their jackets on, a bit chilly except for the Australian kid there, who for this, it could be a summer day at this temperature in Phillip Island. So this sign just says, I love Ingleses. So had to get a picture with that. And of course it's açaí time, because every day we have to eat açaí when we're in Brazil. And we'll see you in the next video for the last bit of Brazil and then America. Yay!